should India be closer to the West because China is seen as a bigger threat? So how do you see this? How should India deal with China?
The Congress party's policy on China is very clear. We do not accept anybody entering our territory and pushing us around and bullying us. Doesn't matter who they are, that's not acceptable to us. And what has happened is the Chinese have entered our territory, killed our soldiers, and the Prime Minister has denied it. That's the problem, right? The idea, we have a relationship with the United States. We have a partnership with them, and we have a shared democratic, free idea, right? And I think there is a coercive idea on the planet, and I think there is a democratic idea on the planet. And I think the democratic idea needs strengthening, right? But you will not strengthen the democratic idea unless you start to fundamentally think about things like production. The huge amount of inequality that is erupting in the West and in India is a threat to the democratic idea. We have to think about that. We have to have a strategy for that. That's not on the table. That's what I'm saying.
Military threat. How do you deal with that?
You deal with the military threat militarily. I mean, how else do you deal with it?
Poonam.
But you have to understand the nature of the threat, right? And you have to respond to the nature of the threat. My concern, and frankly, I've had one conversation with the foreign minister. Conversation I had in a committee meeting, I can't comment on it, but he just doesn't understand it. And he can keep saying what he wants. But in my view, the government is not understanding the actual threat from China. And a lot of commentators say this. The Prime Minister simply stating that nobody has entered our territory demonstrates that he does not understand the threat. Because the message to China with that statement is you can do it again. And that message was sent to the Chinese by the Prime Minister of India.
Poonam.
Hello.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Poonam Joshi from ABP News. I wanted to, you mentioned that institutions have been taken over by the government that are expected to work neutrally. But looking at the media houses, most of them are playing the narrative of the ruling party. And in 2024, when the elections are going to take place, how do you plan to get your narrative across to the people of India who are hugely influenced by what's played on television? And also I'd like to know your thoughts on bulldozer politics, if you may want to.
I think I've said it 2 or 3 times. I think mass mobilization and ideas like Bharat Jodo are very, very powerful. As far as intimidation of any type is concerned, I don't like it. I believe in non-violence, and I don't like intimidation. That's my personal view.